Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight, round number 2 of the ESR Red Eye League, the UMP Modifieds travel to the heart and soul of the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. Good evening, Brett Wheeler, alongside Stephen McMillian for the call for round number 2 for the UMP Modifieds. Stephen, welcome back to the UD TV booth, and of course, welcome to the Knoxville Raceway for round 2 of the UMP Modifieds.
Well, thank you, Brett. I'm quite happy I had my nap this time, so I should be wide awake for this race. I won't have red eyes in the morning when I head to work, but we got some great drivers here tonight, and looking forward for another night of some great racing action on the track as we saw 2 weeks.
Yeah, round number 1 2 weeks ago at, I believe it was, Lanier National Speedway. Now, look, I'm glad to see and glad to hear that you got some sleep, because let's just go off the topic here for a minute. But how does one man do a 90-hour week and still be awake at 12 a.m. on a Friday night?
Well, it's one of those, I'm going to tell you, it took a lot for me to do this. And I work at a company, and we turned the store around, totally demolished it, and put it back together in 1 week, plus had customers shopping the whole time. So it's been one hell of a week, Brett.
Well, speaking of the week, of course, we want to thank the wonderful people here at Ultimate Dirt TV and our sponsors that help us on a season basis. Of course, news released just a couple of days ago, and of course, the new week and new season upon us. Of course, our wonderful people helping us. Wicked Cushion coming back for the instant replay, so no doubt we'll see the Wicked Cushion instant replay up on your screen at some stages throughout the night, but of course plenty of times through the season, and no doubt a big thanks to Drew Neal at 19 Designs. World of Thunder Racing League, we are covering the 360 and the super late models on a Sunday night. And of course, big thanks to JR Productions and Media as well, as they are on board again for another season for the unofficial results at the end of the main event. And of course, we just picked up a new sponsor as well as of about less than 24 hours ago, which is Steve, something you've got a hand in, which is iCall.
That's correct, Brent. And look at it. Heat number 1. Looks like only one heat tonight just popped up.
Yeah, going to be a random heat race. So no qualifying tonight, just straight into a random heat race, and then we'll line up the main event from that one. We'll take a look here at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for the first and only heat of the night. Starting on pole in car number 21, that's going to be Chad Boland. On his outside, the number 18 car of Bryson Daffin out of position 2. Donnie Allen in car number 2 will start position 3. On his outside, the D1RT number 41 entry of Shad Prescott out of position 4. Position 5, going to be the 14 car of JD Brown. Rocky Battenfield in the 97 will start position 6. Hayden Cardwell, car number 7, will start position 7. Blake Garrett in the 257 will start position 8. We go back to our final row inside the 112 of Tyler Hargrave, and I believe Dustin Hall going to be on race control duties tonight. So just the 9 cars, in fact, Steve. But again, these drivers, they've taken to the racetrack in a 30-minute practice session. They're starting to wear in this racetrack, and again, we could see a multi-grooved Knoxville Raceway for round number 2 of the Modifieds.
That's right, Brett. You know what? People, don't take away from this small group of field, because this is some talented drivers in here. If you want to think they're going to let you down, trust me, they will not. They'll put one hell of a show on for you. And, with track and this amount of cars here like that, yeah, if multi-groove, I can see that happening, Brett. As the pace truck will lead them down the front straightaway, give them the 1 lap to go signal.
Yeah, drivers going to make their way off turn 4 the next time by, and it will be Chad Boland who has command of the field. Of course, I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and showing some support to not only Ultimate Dirt TV, but also ESR Red Eye League as well, putting on these UMP Modified series. I believe it's a 6-week series, run every second. Oh, hang on, we've got race control just coming in here there. I'll get that muted. Running every 2 weeks on a Friday night or Saturday morning at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern as well. So again, we'll be broadcasting all the action live here on Ultimate Dare TV. Green flag is out, and Chad Boland gets a good jump on the rest of the field. Now look at Shad Prescott working to the inside on Bryson Daffin through turn number 1 and 2. Your race is for second, and Prescott, little contact there with Bryson Daffin through turns number 1 and 2. Prescott now going to slide into second spot. Here comes Battenfield looking on the inside of the 18. Bryson Daffin back to third. And Rocky Battenfield sits in fourth, rounding out your top 5 as a 257 car. That's Blake Garrett.
That's right. You see Chad Boland just running the high side. And you look at Shad Prescott trying to run the bottom to the middle groove, trying to gain anything on Chad right now. But, you know, right now, it's still kind of early. The track's kind of locked down, but they're starting to break it in slowly, Brett.
Yeah, they've got cars all over the racetrack. And again, just the 9 cars here tonight for round number 2. Chad Boland down the back straightaway. He enters through the middle of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Prescott goes down low, looks for the race lead on the exit of turn number 4. They're going to run battles down the front straight away. Shad Prescott to the race lead, and with a slide job into turn number 1 and 2. Can Chad Boland turn it back underneath the 14 car? Shad Prescott, we'll see down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. No, Prescott going to hang on to the race lead. Then we go back to Bryson Daffin and Rocky Battenfield, still having a great battle. Blake Garrett and Hayden Cardwell now. Those 2 drivers are going to start to bring those 2 cars into the mixture.
That's right. You know, you really look at it right now. The race is on for 2nd through 6th place, Brett. I mean, the hard racing, and, you know, hardly any contact at all. So this tells you what a group of guys, great group of guys they have.
Our top 3 now going to run single file through turn number 1 and 2, past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Hayden Cardwell now moves into position 5. That is a black and green D1RT number 7 car. He is all over the 97. Rocky Battenfield in the TeamVLR.com entry. Battenfield still holding on to position 4 for the moment, but with 6 laps in the books, 4 laps left to run. Cardwell caught the piece of the wall in turns 1 and 2. He tried to look outside in 1 and 2. He's going to do the same thing in turn number 3 and 4. In fact, he's going to tuck him behind the 97. He may just cut down on the exit of turn number 4 towards the low side and try and get a front bumper on the inside of the 97, but no, not going to happen. Look at Cardwell rolling the top side in 1 and 2.
That's right. He's trying to pick up any momentum he can. You know, right now, looks like the slider line is probably the fastest way around the track. As you see, Bryson Daffin trying to figure out a way around Chad. But Chad is holding on strong for that 2nd spot.
There goes Cardwell to the inside on Rocky Battenfield into turn number 1 and 2. They're nearly going to run battles down the back straightaway. Cardwell done well to stay off the 97 down the back straightaway. Oh, Daffin a little looser in turns 3 and 4, and Cardwell had to back out of the throttle. White flag is out. Final time in the heat race before our 50-lap main event. Cardwell to the outside. Prescott, your race leader's got half a straightaway lead over Chad Boland, but the battle is on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and now maybe 6th through 3 and 4. Prescott going to get the win from Chad Boland. Bryson Daffin going to hang on to 3rd, and Hayden Cardwell moves into position number 4. Rocky Battenfield comes home in 5th. Blake Garrett, Tyler Hargrove, Donnie Allen, and J.D. Brown make up your 9 cars here in heat race number 1. And Stephen, if that's what we're going to expect for the next 50 laps for the main event, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, hang on to your seats because it could be an absolute wild one.
That's right. And with this warm-up they're fixing to do, like that, they're going to break the track in a little bit more. But, you know, a while back, around about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in a chat with Dustin Hall. One thing that he said, and I couldn't agree with him more, was quality over quantity. He would rather have quality drivers than have quantity of drivers. And this just proves to you tonight. 9 drivers put on one hell of a show, Brett.
No, I can agree to that. You know, you want the quality drivers, but again, you know, quantity could mean, you know, big things, but it could mean for longer racing, maybe, you know, you will see those extra yellows come out. Whereas if you've got quality, you know what you're going to expect. The drivers know what they're going to be up against when it comes to, you know, main event time. They know how the certain drivers are going to race, and you know, that really could put on for one hell of a show.
Definitely. And with this 2-minute warm-up, they got around about a minute left in this warm-up, and right now on the track, are getting on track is Tyler Hargrove, J.D. Brown, Blake Garrett, and Bryson Daffron. We're going to try and get a little bit of practice time in for the future race.
Well, while they're going on track, they've got 35 seconds, so this will give you 35 seconds to quickly say a big thanks to the guys at ESR Red Eye League and again allowing Ultimate Dirt TV to cover the action. Of course, Dustin Hall putting on the UMP Modified Series. We used to cover the Super Late Model Series that David Lamb was put on, but of course David got some family issues at the moment with, I think I won't say too much, but spending some time in the hospital. So David, I know you're watching. Give a shout out, buddy, to your prayers to you and your family and your young bloke there. Like I said, buddy, I said it before and I'll say it again. If you need someone to chat to, vent to, you know where to get a hold of me. I'm always here for you. Of course, check out our sponsors and our schedule on our website. Head over to www.ultimatedirttv.com. And of course, the sponsors for this coming season. Well, it's already started. We're in week number 1. In fact, we're almost completed week 1. Big thanks to Wicked Cushion, 19 Designs, World of Thunder iRacing League, JR Productions and Media, and iCore. You can all find them on the World Wide Web and, of course, on Facebook as well. We take a look here at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for tonight's 50-lap main event. Starting on pole in caliber 14, that's going to be Shad Prescott. On his outside, the 21 of Chad Boland will line up better position number 2. Bryson Daffin in the 18 car will start position 3. Hayden Cardwell in caliber 7 will start position 4. Out of position 5. Oh, didn't mean to do that one. Out of position 5, going to be the 97 of Rocky Battenfield. Blake Garrett in the 257 will start position 6. Tyler Hargrove in the 112 will start position 7. J.D. Brown in the 14 car will start position 8. And our 9th and final starter is going to be Donnie Allen. Steve, who you got for this one?
Well, I don't know who to pick in this one. I'm going to be honest with you, Brett. You know, we make some picks, and we make some horrible picks 99% of the time. And I don't want to be a fool tonight because I'm going to tell you, any one of these 9 drivers can.
Well, interesting to see that Blake Garrett never made it to the racetrack, never made it to the grid. So I'm seeing 8 cars on the racetrack. I tell you what, I'm going to go out and pick someone. I'm going to say Hayden Cardwell's going to get the job done here.
Okay. Well,
hey, I'll give you a tip. If you want to pick the guy on pole, I'll let you.
I will pick Shad. Shad's a great driver, so I will pick Shad. We'll just go with him. I know he knows his way around.
Well, as soon as he comes second to Hayden Cardwell, I'm going to make sure to mention that to Shad. So,
as you look at the drivers as they come down the back straightaway to take the green flag for the second time of the season here at Knoxville Raceway.
All right, I've been told we're actually not going green this time. We're actually going to make it one more pace lap, I believe. Now, don't quote me on this. I'm just trying to chat to Race Control at the same time. I believe that Blake Garrett coming out onto the racetrack.
And that's all right. Let him get tagged to the end of the field, and we'll be going green this time as we go green for 50 laps.
All right, so the white flag. Now, if you're wondering why it says 1 of 200, it is only going to be 50. We can tell you that this is, of course, any time a yellow flag comes out, we are going to add 3 laps onto the total number of laps. So, at the moment, the white flag going to come out at lap number 51.
That's right, Brett. And they're going green right now as Shad Prescott's on the loud pedal to lead them to the green flag. As he gets the jump, as right now side by side for second place be Bryson Daffin and Chad Boland. Look right now behind him, it's going to be Hayden Cardwell. Try to look in between, see where he can get around. And, he is the person that loves to ride that high side, Brett.
Yeah, again, the D1RT cars out in full force tonight. I believe we got at least, we've got 3 of them on the racetrack. I'm pretty sure it's the only 3 In fact, of course, they run 1, 2, and 4 for the time being. Bryson Daffin breaking up the D1RT sweep of the podium early on, but of course, we've still got plenty of laps left to run here at the Knoxville Raceway. We've just completed lap number 2, and I don't think there's going to be too many cautions in this one, Steve.
No, I don't see too many cautions happening, but you just saw there Hayden Carwell getting into the wall just a tad bit, trying to get that high side to work as he's trying to work his way around Bryson for third spot, as he does on the back straightaway, or front straightaway, my bad.
Carwell working the top side through turn number 1 and 2. Chad Boland trying to hang on to second spot. He's going to take the line away down the back straight away into 3 and 4 though. It is Boland down through the middle of Cardwell up top. He looks to cut it underneath. Also Rocky Battenfield putting a bit of pressure there on our 4th place run of the 18 car of Bryson Daffin. And here comes Blake Garrett. Meanwhile, just in front of them, Cardwell put the slider on Boland. Boland going to come back underneath him now. So again, the teammates run side by side down into 3 and 4. Cardwell's got the run on the top side, but can Boland fight back on the inside? Cardwell, no. Cardwell to position 2.
That's right. If you're Bryson Daffin right now watching Hayden Carwell passing on the high side, you would think he might think in a few minutes of getting up there on the high side. Oh, he gets almost into Chad on the...
All right, we're going to go on board here with the 257 car. This is Blake Garrett. Blake Garrett in the 257. We ride on board with Black Diamond Motorsports onboard cameras. Rocky Battenfield, you can just see to the left there in the blue machine, the number 97 car. But right now, Blake Garrett, you can see how difficult it is to get around the Knoxville Raceway. These guys make it look so easy.
He is. And, I've watched, Hayden's gaining on Chad. So, I mean, that high side is working really well.
Yeah, there's less than 6/10 of a second now. Make that less than half a second. Hayden Carver really starting to close the gap now. But we continue to watch Blake Garrett all over the back of Bryson Daffin down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. We go again. Daffin running up top. Garrett down the low side along with Rocky Battenfield. And so far we're looking at about 10. We're about to start lap number 10. So we're 9 laps complete. Now remember, white flag comes out at lap number 51.
That's right. You look right now for third place. That's the battle on the track. It's the 21-18. As Bryson Daffin put a slide job on Chad, but Chad will take back over the third.
Yeah, some good battle going on for the final placing on the podium. Here goes Daffin down to the inside, the left front, caught a piece of the infield berm, slid up the racetrack, and again Boland turns it back underneath him on the exit of turn 2. Chad Boland now going to return the slider and the favour down into turn number 3 and 4. Blake Garrett at the moment can do nothing but watch as this battle continues to rage on between Chad Boland and Bryson Daffin for running for 3rd and 4th. Blake Garrett in the 257 car sits back there in position 5. And I notice just up towards the front of the field right now, Hayden Cardwell, he's really driving in deep into turn number 1 and 2. And the gap has significantly closed here on your race leader.
That's right. And, you look vainly, most of them are following the leader, basically. We're all running the high side. But now you look at the 257 of Blake Garrett side by side with Bryson Daffin. Blake Garrett pulls a slide job on Bryson to take over for spot.
Yeah, only for the time being, but Bryson Daffin coming back at him on the outside on the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. We go. The good battle on for 4th and 5th again. Side by side here at the Knoxville Raceway. Round number 2 of your ESR Red Eye League UMP Modified Series. 6 weeks of series, but held over 12 weeks, running every second Saturday or Friday night, Saturday morning. And so far, we've had 2 very, very good shows here to open up the season.
You know what, Brett? If you win this, I am going to call you out and say you're cheating.
But look, I'm used to going to victory lane, so you might as well call me a cheater now.
As right now you look at Bryson Daffin and Chad battling for that 3rd spot. Bryson has it on the back straightaway. Chad will take the slider line, get the pass on Bryson, but Bryson would duck underneath, and he will be in third place at the start-finish line. As right now, right behind him, Blake Garrett's looking at both of them.
Well, that is 17 laps completed so far out of this 50-lap main event, and we work on 33, nearly 32 laps left to run. In fact, this time by, it'll be 32 laps left to go so far. We're yet to see any cautions come out. Bryson Daffin a little sideways in turn number 1 and 2. I can tell you, Donnie Allen, he has gone back to pit road. He only completed a handful of laps before his night has ended very, very quickly. Chad Boland putting the slider there in on Blake Garrett in turns 3 and 4. Blake Garrett coming back at him now. So Blake Garrett now up to position 4. And Blake Garrett's going to certainly want to break up this D1RT podium sweep at the moment.
That's right, Brett. You know, and the game had an update. And as you was witness to it as much as I was this week before the update that just happened, there was a lot of net code going on. And I don't see that after this update. That just...
well, I mean, I haven't really seen too much racing, but you know, the racing that I've seen so far, I mean, it's only been like Americans. You know, I'm yet to see it with sort of Australians and Aussies up against the Americans, or vice versa. So, I mean, look at this stage, the update, you know, with that netcode issue. I know they don't like talking about it, but it's a part of the simulation. It's going to happen regardless. You know, we're certainly able to, we're certainly able to talk about it here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But you know, again, as you said, it looks like it's gone away. You know, whereas you look at likes of the 18 of Bryson Daffin and Blake Garrett, so many times have been side by side where they've run panels. That could have been a different story this time last week.
That's right. You look, that is the battle on the track now for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They're trading spots left and right, putting on the show for the fans, that's for sure. As you see, Hayden Carwell is your leader now.
Yes, Hayden Carwell put the move in turns 3 and 4, but here comes Prescott. Now going to put return the favour in 3 and 4, side by side for the lead. Hayden Carwell goes to the top in turn number 1 and 2. There goes Prescott down low with a slide job again. And we're going to go side by side for the race lead. Down the back straight away. We are going to complete lap 25 here at the moment. Of course, it's only going to be lap 24 because we started a lap later thanks to Blake Garrett. We'll call him out on that one. Good on you, Blake. But, Steve, we're nearing the halfway stage of this race. Again, all green flag laps so far. And at the moment, well, Hayden Carwell and Shad Prescott certainly putting on a show for the fans.
That's right. You know, I doubt we'll even see a caution tonight. That's for sure. And if you look at 2 weeks, if this goes caution-free, that would be 1 yellow flag in 2 races that this league's had this season. What a great job with these.
You know, hats off to all the drivers that, you know, opened up the 2 weeks out of this 6-week series. And again, you know, no surprise where we're seeing Slide Job City right now with the population being Hayden Carwell and Shad Prescott. It's just continually Slide Job with a crossover, Slide Job crossover, Slide Job crossover. Which one of these drivers are going to crack first? Because at the moment right now, we're going to give the advantage to Carwell just because he's got the run coming on the exit of the turn. By the time he's already crossed underneath, that's where Prescott gets to the cushion. And you can see so many times, just as they go into turns 1 and 3, Carwell stays up top. He comes pretty much from the middle of the racetrack straight to the top to get that run on the top side and set himself up for the crossover. Whereas it's the opposite for Shad Prescott. He stays on the top down the straightaways, and by the time he gets into the turns, he's going for that big slider.
That's right, and it's allowing, you know, Hayden to get that run, duck underneath, and get the run underneath. But look at right there, Shad Prescott will hold off Hayden Carwell. But look at Hayden going into turn 3. He will do the slider on Shad. And Shad now will duck underneath, try to get the run off the turn.
Well, it just goes to say that one little mistake may have just cost him, and Hayden Carwell done it again. He caught the wall in 1 and 2. It happened a couple of laps ago, and that's why he was stuck on the bottom side. Well, he's gonna really jam the brakes on right now. He's going to try down low, so they're going to run side by side. Carwell down on the low side. He may have to get back to the top side because Prescott's certainly keeping an eye on that one. We start lap number 31 technically, so we've completed 30 at the moment. 20 laps left to run. Make that 19 as they come out of turn 4 this time by.
I mean, if you look at the intervals, third place is 4.916 behind.
That's daylight. That's daylight around this racetrack.
There you go. But that's all right because the leaders are giving you one hell of a show up front. That is for sure.
Well, again, it's a slide job and then crossover, slide job, crossover, slider here. For this time, it's from Cardwell into turn number 1 and 2. And Prescott going to work back through the middle of the racetrack on the exit of turn 2. Cardwell's got the top side, the preferred line. Well, the preferred lane choice at the moment. Prescott slides up in front of him again and again. A crossover. I mean, how can you not like this kind of racing either? I mean, I do want to go back and check on the rest of the drivers, but when you got these two guys putting on a slide job mania right now, it's hard to take your eyes off away from this one.
That's right. And let me tell you, it's still excitement in the back, too, as they're giving each other slide jobs, trying to find a spot. One has one spot, 1 second, and look, turn around, and they're passing each other back. I mean, right now, for third spot, Blake Garrett and Bryson Daffner are putting on the battle. Even for fifth and sixth, Rocky Battenfield and Chad Bowen working side by side, and J.D. Brown in the picture, too.
Think about it this way. You got first and second throwing sliders on each other. You got third and fourth throwing sliders on each other. Then you got fifth, sixth, and seventh going 3 wide. I mean, there is just action all over this racetrack. And again, the drivers are putting on a great show. In fact, Chad Bowen there just sort of moving away from that 3 wide battle he had with J.D. Brown and Rocky Battenfield. Battenfield just starts to move clear of them. J.D. Brown continues to work the low side of the racetrack. And meanwhile, Bryson Daffin in 4th spot, Blake Garrett in 3rd. Will that swap? Will those drivers? Well, who's going to make up this 3rd, 4th, and 5th here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway? But at the moment, right now, we go back up towards the front, and I'm not surprised to see these two drivers still trading slide job after slide job.
That's right. You know, if you really look at it, Chad Prescott's using that slider line to try to get around Hayden Carwell. And you see when Hayden Carwell did the opposite lap. And, you know, but the runs they're both getting is remarkable coming out of this.
They have now got 6 seconds on 3rd place, or 5.9 it was. It jumped up to 6 there at one stage. 5.849, as you said, on the ticker up the top. This is crazy to think. These drivers are throwing sliders on each other. They should be losing time, not gaining time on these drivers. Now, I can understand, you know, Garrett and Daffin, you know, they're all, and Battenfield as well, you know, they're all trying to throw moves on each other as well. But when you got 2 cars battling it up for the race lead, you would expect that these two drivers out in front would not be putting on a show right now.
That's right. And the race control just said 9 to go. Wow,
it is on for Young and Old right now. And Hayden Cardwell once again. I mean, who's going to victory lane here at the Knoxville Raceway for round number 2? Cardwell in the black and green, number 7. Chad Prescott in the black and white, number 14. Of course, teammates. Cardwell caught a piece of the wall in turn number 1 again. He's going to duck to the middle of the racetrack on the exit of turn 2 again. This time it's Cardwell's time to put the slider in turn number 3 and 4 on Prescott. Once again, Prescott taps the wall just a little bit right in the center of 3 and 4. And I guess Cardwell, he really could have taken the slider line away from Prescott there if he went down to the low side. But he opted to stay up top, and there's contact for the race lead.
That's right. That, you know, I was fixing to say, if Shad wants to complete that pass and make sure that Haynes stays behind him, I wouldn't slide all the way to the top, but I would get just enough where he couldn't pass me on that high side to duck underneath me coming out. But now they may, you know, have almost had a little bit of contact, so now they're back to single file as Hayden's searching for some speed to catch back up with Shad to battle for the lead.
Well, we've just completed lap number 44, so that will mean 6 laps left to run here at the Knoxville Raceway. Oh, a little mistake there from Prescott. And surely these drivers now, surely fuel would not be an issue at this stage. Here goes Cardwell with a big slider into turn number 1 and 2. I think Prescott may have just checked up a bit going into turn 3 to allow that to happen and allow these drivers, you know, to come back and put on a show here back up for the top spot.
That's right. You see right there where Shad goes all the way to the high side to allows Bryson, I mean, to Hayden, sorry, my bad. Hayden to duck underneath him. And, if you don't slide all the way to the wall, but stick your right rear just enough where he can't pass you on the high side to duck down, he can continue to lead. And, I'm for Shad because that's the person I picked. So I'm all about trying to help him out.
Well, I'm about helping Hayden Cardwell out because I picked him. I think 3 laps left to run here in the main event. Hayden Cardwell, I think they're just going to do this up until the final lap. They're just going to play with each other a little bit on the racetrack, just allow those slide jobs and allow those crossovers. But, man, I'll tell you what, if they've done this for 30-odd laps so far, well, just imagine what it's like for me being inside the cockpit of that race car.
That's right. He's right now, as Shad is falling right behind him, but now he ducks underneath. Going in turn 3, completes the slide job. Look at Hayden. He cuts down low. I mean, he has to do something, some kind of blocking a little bit, Brett, just to keep behind him. But Shad hits the wall, Brett.
Yeah, this should be the white flag too. So a really bad timing there for Prescott to get into the wall. Cardwell continues to lead Prescott into the wall now. And well, for the final time down the back straight away here at the Knoxville Raceway, the ESR Red Eye League, the UMP Modifieds, round number 2. Your winner in car number 7, going to be Hayden Cardwell getting the job done. Second, going to go to Shad Prescott. Third at the line is going to be JD Brown. He come out of nowhere, JD Brown. Man, that was a hell of a race. Not that we got to see it, but JD Brown was battling with, I believe it was Boland and Battenfield. Man, that was a good run by JD Brown.
Definitely, that was. For most of the race, he was in the back. So, I mean, all those slide jobs and all those passes.
All right, well, hopefully we get to chat to our top 3 here in just a moment. So there goes your winner to victory lane, and followed by his teammate, of course. The drivers and the teammates go 1-2 here at the Knoxville Raceway. Although I think Hayden Cardwell might... not sure what he's trying to do, but he might be trying to reverse back up onto victory lane.
He wants to show his good side of the car.
Ah, look at this. They're getting a team photo in victory lane. Team 1 and 2. All right, I dig it. Let's try and get a good camera angle of that one, and knowing my luck, we won't have one. All right, well, let's go down to victory lane and chat with the driver of the number 7 car. That is going to be Hayden Cardwell. Hayden, congratulations here on your win here at the Knoxville Raceway. You and Shad certainly put on a show. Was that sort of the plan? Yeah, once you boys got out to the front just to put those sliders on? Hayden?
Oh, wrong channel, my bad. All right, you got me now?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, yeah, when me and Chad got there out front, I really didn't know what was going to happen, but we started throwing sliders in. We ended up making a show for the fans. I think me and Chad sold some T-shirts right there, so I think we'll be pretty good. Fans are already at the trailer corner now.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go back through the rest of the field, when you guys, put 25 to 30 odd laps, just slider after slider. What was it like from the cockpit of that race car, knowing that, you're going to be able to run, those laps clean, with your teammate there?
Oh, I had no worries. Chad, he's a great driver. He does all I can. I knew we could definitely run side by side. We had some close calls there at the end, but I had 100% trust in Chad. I always do, and all of my teammates.
Was this a plan when he's got out in front? Was it just going to be, just throw sliders, for 20 odd laps, and the last couple of laps you just, every man for himself?
I really don't know. I guess whenever we got out front, I mean, we were so equal, and then I guess it just happened from there, and we ended up throwing slider after slider.
Well, you pick up the win here in the ESR Red Eye League. The UMP Modifieds are round 2 at the Knoxville Raceway. Before we let you get out of here and celebrate, of course, sponsors, shout-outs, all that good stuff. Who gets you to the track each and every time?
Oh, yeah. I just want to go ahead and thank everybody at D1RT that helps out. They do more than enough. I mean, I can't thank them guys enough. Shad, he built a killer piece tonight. Had us up 2 up front. Chad had a good race tonight. Also, can't thank Jim Emery enough for what he does for the team. Rabs, he's always killing it. And can't thank you, Brett, for the broadcast. And I want to go ahead and say, just everybody, please pray for David Lamb and his family. The issue that he had with his kid, it's kind of a hard deal, and those things always don't happen, but it can happen to the best of us. So everybody, please pray for that family.
Oh, couldn't have said it any better myself there from Hayden Cardwell. We'll throw it over to Steve, who's going to chat with our second place driver tonight in the 14 car. It's going to be Shad Prescott.
Congratulations, Chad, on your second place finish, sir. I mean, you had one hell of a show putting on with Hayden Carwell all the way to almost to the end where you got into the wall. How was the track tonight? How was the?
Yeah, the car was great. It's just there at the end, I kind of screwed myself and hit the wall, but it was a really fun race, and I don't think we really planned to throw that many sliders. It's just kind of what happened.
Well, I guess he said that there's fans at trailer buying y'all shirts. You sure they're not buying his little mustache?
Oh, they're definitely buying the mustache for sure.
Well, tell us who makes it all possible for you tonight.
Yeah, I just gotta thank Eddie Livingston, everybody over at D1RT, and Hayden there for joining me and putting on a show for you guys.
When you go back there, can you just tell him that we're in June, not November?
I'll let him know.
All right, short and sweet here. Shad Prescott there, home in second place. We'll chat to the driver that comes home in third place tonight from the back of the bus. JD Brown. JD, congratulations on this third place run. You started at position 8 in tonight's feature event. No yellows, 50 green flag laps. Talk about how you're able to come through the field and the battles that you had to get up to this third spot tonight.
Thanks. I was just running the top, basically follow the leader for the little first half of the race. I was just cruising up top, and finally I was just like, try to go to the bottom, see if I can make anything work, and just cruise down there. And like the last 10 laps, managed to get 4 spots and move up to third. So just at the end of the race, it was really racy. Just went to the bottom, managed to get all the spots.
A lot of the drivers, were running the top side or that slider line. Why do you think that bottom side was so fast there in the end? Was it just because everyone was running that slider line through the middle of that race, or from the start, I should say?
Yeah, just top started going away a little bit, and I wish kind of went down there to the bottom a little bit early. Maybe I could have passed them earlier, but just top started slowing in away. Cushion started to get worse and worse throughout the race. So I just started running the bottom and picking my way through the cars.
Again, a smallish field here tonight, but as we say, quality over quantity. Was that the way you seen it tonight here? With these 8 or 9 drivers tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Hayden and Shad kind of checked out there at the beginning. I think caution at the end of the race would have been one hell of a race, and just the back half was just battling for third the whole entire time. So it was a great race, and just caution at the end would have been real interesting.
All right, well, look, we'll let you thank some people before we let you go. Who gets it done for you, buddy?
Thank Evil One Graphics, Napa Auto Parts, SCP Performance, HM Automotive, and Owen at Bad Racing. We got a decent run tonight and managed to go up to get a third.
All right, JD Brown from 8th up to position number 3. That'll wrap us up here from the Knoxville Raceway. Steve, final thoughts from yourself. Again, Hayden Cardwell, Shad Prescott certainly put on a show for the fans.
Definitely. I mean, and you can't count out the rest. I mean, they put on a show too. I mean, if it wasn't for them battling, I mean, you just see third place, JD Brown coming in home in third. I mean, just seeing that and where he started like that, it was a good racing all over tonight.
Well, you can certainly see from the sky cam, the 2 out in front on the bottom right, or down towards the bottom right of your screen. They had nearly half a track distance from what it looked, well, not half a track, but a quarter of a track lead. You see the 5 cars just battling out of turn 2 there. Of course, a big thanks to ESR Red Eye League, Dustin Hall, for all that he does here in this UMP Modified Series. Round number 2 is complete. We are going to be back in 2 weeks' time for our third round of the series. I have no idea where we travel to. I should probably look at a schedule or something like that, but I can tell you the time is going to be 12 a.m. Central, 1 a.m. Eastern for the Americans here on the Friday night / Saturday morning. So if you want to race in the UMP modifiers, and that'll be shown on the broadcast, hit up the ESR Red Eye League Facebook page, give a like and a follow while you're there. And of course, a big thanks to all the people behind the scenes here at Ultimate Dirt TV, and of course our wonderful sponsors. You can check them out on our website. Head over to www.ultimatedirttv.com. Of course, those people and the sponsors behind the scenes. Of course, a big thanks to Wicked Cushion, 19 Designs, World of Thunder iRacing League, JR Productions and Media, and iCore. Check them out on Facebook as well. They're all the Facebook links, direct pages are in the title description in the video. And of course, on behalf of Ultimate Dirt TV and the entire management behind the scenes for your broadcast team tonight, Stephen McMillian and myself, Brett Wheeler, we say farewell from the sprint car capital of the world. We'll see you Sunday night as we head to, I have no idea where we go to, but we are going to be covering the World of Thunder until we're going to USA. So we'll see you then, guys. Peace.